I make these videos so that you have the time to listen to them and enjoy some of the ideas and philosophies without the consistent overabundance of hustle culture and the push to strive for more. This is a way to flow into more without all that stuff that we constantly hear and are barraged with. These are my efforts into giving you something that is different from the constant dopamine struggle that will take away so much of your autonomy because you are just seeking the next hit. And we don't realize it as a struggle. We think, oh, I need more. There's so much more out there in the world, and this constant striving for it. Now, I had to re-record this video because when I was hiking up this mountain and recording it, the audio was so bad. It was completely unusable. So I am recreating this, the ideas that were being shared as I was walking up this mountain and thinking about it. And the big ideas that were really put forth is that it's the beginning. Whatever you were set to now, even just you listening to this video, as far as you're up in length of it, you have started something in your mind, something in your life, something that you are doing, something that you are achieving, something you are striving forward to. That is the main idea, is that you have started, and that is the most crucial and amazing thing that you could have done. The problem, of course, is the continuing, is we start so many things and we dream about starting even more things, and maybe we even start, but keeping on going and doing is the hardest part of it all. This is where so many people quote discipline, and they talk about how important it is for you to be disciplined in the things that you are doing, and therefore where motivation will fail, discipline will inevitably pick up. I give you a different idea, a different way to look at this, and perhaps a different thing to strive for. We set goals, and we say that this goal, we're going to work it all the way back and engineer it, and we're going to figure out exactly what we're going to do. This is how we're going to achieve it. And we do this again and again and again and again, and we fail over and over. We fail with the mass majority of the goals, and we seem to keep on doing the same thing. We keep on going back to the same pattern of it all. And I, by no means, am saying that I have some amazing pattern that is going to be different for you. I am saying I am here to offer a different perspective. So many times when we hear things from a different perspective, it makes us go, oh, I have not considered that. And that's the beauty of listening to a lot of different things. So what I present to you is the difference of where you're aiming and how you're going about it. And imagine that we're taking a journey. And so many people talk about it's about the journey and not the destination. That you're trying to get to a specific point, and you really need to be enjoying the process of getting to that point. That life, the way that it works in its beautiful way, is that when you get to that point, you will not be happy, because the point is just a finite, tiny little fragment of existence, whereas in the journey is your entire life. So the question really is, if not that, then we focus on the journey. How do we enjoy the journey? How do we know where we're going? And so inevitably people say, well, I have a guiding light, a North Star, a destination that I'm going. I have this general idea, but I know that I should be enjoying the journey. But what if as you go on the journey, the destination ends up changing? That happens to us far more often, that when we go on a journey, the destination changes. So what do you do then? You now aren't guided by the same North Star, by the same exact point, because you don't want to be going to that point. That means that every time that your journey changes a little bit, all of a sudden it can alter exactly where you're going. And so now you're constantly having to re-navigate, rethink, reassess. That is exhausting. That is difficult. You end up questioning, as I have questioned so many times, well, am I doing the right thing? Am I going for the right thing? And this is where I present to you this idea of direction. Instead of destination, instead of journey, an aiming of a direction. Those core values that you hold, that so many of us deep down completely understand and have, are a sense of direction. That is how we genuinely know what to do. A lot of our upbringing has given us a sense of that direction, or whether that be through what we liked or what we disliked about our upbringing. We have gotten a sense of direction. And I use this metaphor of the idea of, if you're going to change, if you're going to make that lasting change, it's always very interesting to me that people say it's just about taking the first step. And I think that's complete bullshit. I think it makes no sense, because if I just take a step and it's on this long journey of a path or a marathon or whatever you want to think about it, what is stopping me from turning around and taking a step back and going exactly to where I started? If I even take 10 steps, what's stopping me from turning around and going back? Nothing. Nothing is stopping you from going back. But it should. Wouldn't it be helpful? This is where so many people have talked about identity shift, that when we are able to truly shift our identity, we all of a sudden are able to make those huge leaps and bounds where people don't recognize us. No duh, our identity has shifted. Isn't that quite marvelous? So then the metaphor that I propose is, instead of thinking that you're taking a step on a path, imagine that you're taking a step off of a cliff. Don't worry, you're going to fly, you're going to soar, you will figure it out, but you're taking that step where after the first step, there is no going back. And that is very difficult to do in our lives. Not just difficult in the sense of courage and being ready to actually take that step, but difficult in the sense of finding a true cliff. Finding a real space where we can, once we take that big step, not really go back. This is maybe completely cutting off a relationship. This is maybe moving to a completely different city, or doing something like quitting your job. Those are those big leaps that so many people talk about. And I'm not saying you have to do them, but they help so much because you can't step back. You have to move forward. And that's where you have to decide and figure out, how am I going to keep? How am I going to soar? Am I going to plummet all the way down? How long am I going to soar for? And I go back to this idea of direction, right? We talked about the destination, the journey, and the direction. When you take this step off of the cliff, my goodness, is it so difficult to know exactly where your destination is. It is impossible to know where the journey is going to take you and how you're going to fly, flutter, plummet to your destination. But the one thing that we absolutely have in so much of our control is the direction, is the general direction that we're going in. And I find that so much, if we can ground ourselves in that and center and focus our thoughts and our beliefs in that direction, that is a much better guiding principle than one specific destination. Because a direction can lead us into many destinations. Truly, a direction can lead you to one destination, followed by another and another and another, onto this amazing journey. Where at the beginning, you would have never known that you wanted to go to that final, last, longing destination, but the direction helped you. So this is what brings me to the idea of me speaking to you now, and in general, this idea of motivation, inspiration, discipline, as some people say it, but what I really think needs to be avoided. Discipline can be seen as the direction. It's doing those right things that are keeping you going into that direction. But sometimes discipline holds you back because you are stuck with the same patterns, with the same things that you believe are the right for the changing, because they were the correct way for someone else to reach a specific destination, for someone else's journey, and that's how you're going to do it. But your journey is different. So is the direction right? And really what I'm saying here is the discipline, is the habit, is the thing that you're doing, the thing that you're following, does that feel like it's in the right direction for you? And feel is an important piece here. And I know this feels like a lot of things coming together, but this is me trying to sum up this kind of culmination of me hiking this mountain. Is this feeling correct. Feeling. We look so much onto the outside world. We listen to others. I know the irony of you listening to me now, but we look at others. We listen to others. How did they achieve this? Maybe I want to do that. Do you really want to do that? Or has your society, your parents, your culture programmed you to think that that's the thing that you want? And maybe you do want it. I'm not here to dissuade that. I'm here to say we don't listen to ourselves nearly enough. We chase other things too much, understandably so. We have listened to others for the vast majority of our lives, and we haven't properly listened to ourselves. This doesn't mean that other people don't have wisdom. They have so much. You wouldn't be listening to this audio, you wouldn't be watching this video if there wasn't something you were looking to hear from someone else. But that's the beauty of it. I told you at the very beginning of this, perspectives. Listening to it and making you go, oh, that resonates with me. That's interesting. I think I could use that and apply that in my own way. I see the destination that you went for. I understand the journey that you went on, and I think that flows into the direction that I'm following. Therefore, I'm going to use it. So with all of this, I am saying take the time to understand yourself. This will take much longer than you want it to, because what you think you are, who you think you are, is so far from your actual true self. It is so much muddied and completely noised and glossed over by so much of what we hear and what we think we desire. And I'm not even saying that I have the faintest idea of who I truly am. I just know what makes me feel fulfilled. The kind of work, the kind of things that I like to do that made me go, yes, this is right. Helping to have even just one person get a little inspired, get a little bit clearer about what it is that they love doing, that is so great of a feeling for me. When somebody can go, ooh, I've never thought about it that way. That feels right for me. So what are those things that you like? Maybe it has nothing to do with other people. Maybe it's the way that you like to do something with your hands, of crafting something. Maybe you like writing a specific word. Maybe you like making music. Maybe you just love dance or making gadgets. Whatever it might be, that thing that fills you with the joy, the feeling, follow that direction. That is always an amazing guide into the right direction. Money, I have yet to find money to be the right guide for the direction. It seems to always be crowded with the things that people don't want to do, and you realize it's not the right thing to do when you get to a high enough level of money. Enough of the money will come. Beautifully enough of the money will come. It will be there. The fact is that society keeps telling us that we desire for more, but do we question why we are told to desire for more? Who benefits from that? Who benefits from us making more money besides ourselves? All the people that teach you how to make more money, what do they get out of it? Are you going in the right direction? Does that feel like the right direction? Before you can feel it, find the ways that you can feel yourself. Then feel the right direction. Get ready for your journey and take that step. I believe in you. I think you are absolutely capable of this. Just keep going. You got this.